Welcome to the Loveland Report and Loan Arranger Show. I am Cleve, Loveland, Central Florida's best real estate planner for over 33 years. Bruce Woodburn, the Loan Arranger, is here with me. Today, I'm going to dig into a couple things. Big headline, I think, mortgage rates plummets are the headlines. I want to talk to Bruce about that. Trump may declare a housing emergency. What does that entitle? What can he do? And then vacation homes. Are those a good idea? What's going on in that market? I want to talk to you about that, Bruce, what you're seeing and how the financing is going on that. I'll talk to you about trends in that. We'll give you the numbers, the latest numbers. I've got some good listings and more. What do you got today, Bruce?
First of all, I appreciate y'all listening to us today. I've been in the mortgage business for over 35 years. I'm a direct lender. I'm not a mortgage broker. Everything we do is in-house. And I want to make that clear to folks that we are in control of the transaction where a mortgage broker is not. We also service over 90% of the loans that we close, so you don't have to worry about your loan being sold. And then when it's time to refinance, you don't pay any lender fees. We have all kinds of discounts for our existing clients and new clients. And we give a guarantee on our closing. So when I'm doing a purchase transaction, I will guarantee the seller that I'll close that loan on the closing date, or I'll pay them up to $500 a day for every day we miss the closing. How many lenders do you think do that?
None.
Not very many that I've ever seen.
I don't run across anybody else that does that.
And we can close in as little as 10 days. I share that with the folks out there because if you are a customer, that might not sound like it's a big deal, but servicing your loan, discounts when it comes to refinancing, and being on top of everything within your organization. Brokers have to outsource the appraisal, the underwriting, some of them don't even process internally. Everything's done internally.
I just had that happen to me. This is a big country in town, a big company in town. You were telling me, and I'm like, my client's getting the runaround, and I was asking you what's going on with that, and you said, oh, they're a broker.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, that explains it.
And the clients don't know that they're a broker all the time. So these are important issues. Plus, we don't sell private information off. Your banks and your credit unions are going to take your credit report and they're going to sell it. They're going to sell your data to credit card companies and all kinds of places. We never do that. That's just a little bit about me. I want to talk about interest rates because the news is interest rates have plummeted. Okay.
Does that mean we went from 6.7 to 6.65?
That is it actually went from 6.8 to 6.5. That's
pretty
the
good.
National average.
That's pretty
I
good.
don't consider that to be a plummet, but I do consider that to be a really good move in the right direction.
Probably the biggest movement we've had in 9 months.
Absolutely incredible. Interest rates are coming down. Ironically, your conventional loans are still running, like I'm locking loans in the high 5s to the mid 6s right now, depending on credit scores.
And that's why it's important people
depending
call
on
you.
Whether you want to pay any points or not. So those are all things that we consult with our client. However, VA and FHA, I'm locking them in the mid 5s right now. I locked a couple.
Wow.
Yeah, I locked a couple of veterans in right at around 5.6%.
And here's the important part. I talk about real estate planning, and call me. I'll help you. Even if you're not ready to sell, not ready to buy, we'll get a plan together that might happen in the next 6, 12, 18 months. When people talk to you and they get their application in at webringyouhome.com, what's important is if they've got a 690 score compared to a 620, they're going to get a better rate.
Absolutely.
And you've got it's not on your Credit Karma app.
No,
this is what you will tell them.
Is 40 points higher than your mortgage score is going to be.
But you can tell them exactly what to do to their credit cards, exactly what to pay down, exactly what account to pay,
to get
how
your
much
score up
to
bring
your
better
score
rate.
To get a better rate. Because the best rates are what, over 750?
Anything over 760 is the very best.
You are the man.
Whether you are 760 or 810, you are Mac Daddy. It's all the same. And then you have to realize that FHA and VA don't have the risk-based pricing like conventional does. So you could have a 680 score on a FHA and not get a better rate than a 780 score if you were both going FHA, because they don't have the pricing built into it where they're penalizing. Where conventional loans literally penalize people when you don't have as great of a score, and it's in 10-point increments. So a 729 is a different rate than a 730, even though it's only 1 point.
Yep.
Is it substantial? No. Is it oftentimes
worth
you paying off an $8,000 credit card to get a $5 better or $20 better payment? Maybe not. but we
That's what you do,
analyze
though.
that
You
situation.
analyze that. I have
Yeah.
so many people that don't understand that. And it's funny in this credit-based world we're in, everybody will finance everything for you for 97 months.
True that.
Your BMW SUV that looks really cool, but can't live in it. I guess you could live in the SUV version, but it's important that they talk to you and get fast tracked, because I think we're going to move into it. I'll have numbers next week on inventory. Inventory has been slowly coming down, Bruce. It's about floating in like 5.5 months supply.
Right.
So the buyers are getting more closing costs. I'm telling my sellers, hey, be nice. This is a buyer. And I used to get 3 or 4 offers a week on homes. Now I get 1. And we got to treat them with kid gloves and be a little more responsive to them, a little more pliable based on what's happening. Now, I just had a house last week with multiple offers, so we were not very pliable on that. But actually, what's funny is 3 of the offers
didn't have to be.
Yeah, 3 of the offers were still below list. The one person at list was the one we went with. And even when I asked everybody to improve their offer, said, "Hey, I'm giving you 24 hours." Nobody improved their offer. So you got to have a master negotiator helping you. And I'm a certified negotiation expert.
As fate would have it, I previewed a Cleve Loveland on my Realtor Spotlight. I do a Realtor Spotlight every month and preview special people. And Cleve Loveland is without doubt is an anomaly when it comes to real estate. And you guys may think I say that because I'm on the show with Cleve and we work together, but I work with probably over the course of a year, over 1,000 realtors, and very few of them have the skills and the business model that you do. They're usually one-man shops, or they're on a team. They don't have a lot of control, and they don't give all the advice that you give.
We're negotiating, and that's the main thing people hire us for. And you got to know as a buyer what's reasonable. Beautiful house, checks all the boxes. It's listed for 700. The neighbors are all selling between 675 and 725. You don't go in with a 650 offer. You go in close to where it's listed.
But you're not afraid to negotiate on behalf of your client, where a lot of other agents, I'll get the agent call me and go, "Look, our client came in and the seller said, I'm not going to go any lower, or I'm not paying any more in closing costs, or I'm not fixing the blah, blah, blah." And then you look at that and go, okay, they said that, but that doesn't mean that's true.
I had a good story for you, Bruce. I had one this week, wrote an offer on a house, getting tons of showings, and actually wrote a decent offer, but it was about 7 or 8% below list. And I was telling my seller, I said, I think we're getting tons of activity, but no offers. So this offer is really good. And here's where we should counter offer. When I called that agent back to tell him I had a counter offer for her and I didn't accept her first offer, she cried.
She cried?
She cried. And I said,
hey,
hey,
you know why? That's crying because of her commission and not because of the client.
No, that was because she didn't know what to do. And I didn't want to say, are you new at this? And I didn't want to say that. I said, hey, look at the comps. I said, this is a great counter offer. And we met you in the middle on this. Usually I don't meet in the middle, but I told my seller, I said, we are priced a little high. You got 20 people through the house and no offers. We're priced a little high.
Yep.
And I showed her the comps and showed her what's selling. So I went back to that agent and I said, hey, look at this right here. I said, these 2 down the street sold at the price I'm giving you the counter at. This house has a bigger yard. It's got a great pool. It's got all the insides done. It's got a $100,000 kitchen. It's one of the listings we had here on the show. And I said, your clients are qualified to 750. They're selling a house for 900. I said, don't worry. I said, take this back to them, present this. I sent her what to say in my counter offer. I said, just read this with them. They accepted it.
See?
And she was elated. And basically, I don't want to mention the company.
Cry with happy tears,
it's a virtual company. She's probably had no training. She's never seen a boss. And if she does have a boss that runs the company, they probably never sold real estate there, just a compliance platform, sending offers in. But hey, I made it work. And that's my job as the listing agent, helping these people in training.
When I'm talking to my clients about a real estate agent, because I think that most people do not pick a great real estate agent. They pick people that they like or that they know. And I'll ask them, do you want, and they're like, oh, I found this real estate agent. I'm going to stay with them. They're very nice. And I said, do you want nice or do you want a good negotiator? Which is more important to you? I want both. Which one's more important? Nice or good negotiator? Because I don't care how nice my financial advisor is. I care how much money he makes me.
I always think of Jack Nicholson screaming.
Okay, so you have to think about that. If you'd like to reach Cleve, you can be reached at 407-352-8118. That's 407-352-8118 for the voice of real estate here in Orlando, Cleve Loveland. Bruce Woodburn, the Lone Ranger, that's me. You can reach me at 407-250-9144 or webringyouhome.com. We got Hometown Heroes. We're locking a bunch of those in now. It can get you up to $35,000 in
That's
down
great.
payment assistance. If you are a first responder, teacher, law enforcement, you're in any one of those hero type of industries, you should, and you are renting, you're a first-time home buyer, then you need to call me now. You need to get this process started. Interest rates have gotten much better, and we're seeing a lot of buying activity, and I'm locking a lot of them in.
It's funny, Bruce, we had a blah summer. Like usually
Yeah.
Central Florida, we sell 3,500 homes a month, resales in 4 counties. We did about 2,500 was our average. And that's barely bigger than the winter, and which was blah, last year's winter.
Yes.
And so we're running, but I think with these rates coming down, we will start to surpass 2024 numbers, which were bleak, and it'll start to come up. And this inventory, it will only take 3 decent months of sales activity being brisk or a little busier than it is now to absorb inventory, and then you're back into multiple offers.
I think that with this whole Fed cut that's coming, I do hope people realize that rates are not going to go down after the Fed cuts the rate. They're already baked into it. But a lot of people don't believe that. They think, oh, that can't be true. First of all, it is true. And in many cases, rates can go up after a Fed.
So our next show, the Fed cut, 90% chance of a cut, 10% chance of big cut. So it's going to be cut. But so next show, we'll be able to talk about that and see how it affected rates next week. Because right now, you've got one of my clients right now buying one of my personal homes, and you got them floating, I think.
Nope, we locked them yesterday.
Locked them. Okay. And talk about that a bit for people. What's important about that? You watch the market every day. You've got your charts and graphs.
I watch the market.
Your candlesticks up here on the screens.
Absolutely. So it's important that I do. Like Cleve, he's your trusted advisor when it comes to real estate, but you need that for mortgages. I don't think most mortgage lenders or loan officers have a clue as to how to follow the market, what trends look like, when opportunities lie, I'm the only guy out there telling clients to hold off on refinances right now.
Yeah.
Although now I'm sending the announcement to all my people on my VIP rate watch list. Now it's time to get your application completed because we are getting closer.
Yeah.
If I'm locking rates in VA IRRRLs where you don't even have to have your credit, you don't have to have a regular credit pull.
Those rates you said are in the 5s now.
You can get them in the 5s. You can absolutely get them in the 5s. Now, on a VA IRRRL, you're limited to how many points you can buy it down. On a regular refinance, you can buy it down if you want to. These are all options that we explain. But we go through that process with every client. But I'm telling people that because you all hear me saying, hold off on refi, and unless you're trying to do debt consolidation. But right now, I'm saying get your application made. Go to webringyouhome.com or call my office. We'll take the application on the phone, on a Zoom meeting, or in person, or online, any way you want to do it. But now's the time to get your application made. I'm not telling you I'm going to lock your rate in. I might float it for another 2 weeks, maybe 2 months. I don't know that.
Now, and here's the fear. Okay. You would know, so you're telling somebody to lock in and they don't, they might get burned.
They could. Rates could pop up.
Now, here's the thing. Okay, you lock me in, and let's say I'm at 6.125.
Yes.
And rates plummet again. Can you unlock me and relock me, or how?
So there's a couple of options, and that's a really good point. And I think that we should hit that when we come back segment. From the next break. In the meantime, if you'd like to talk to Cleve, how do they reach you?
407-352-8118. Look up and down your street. Chances are one of those rooftops. I've sold it, helped buy it, or manage it. Call me or go to cleveloveland.com.
Or the Lone Ranger, Bruce Woodburn, right here in your backyard. Cross Country Mortgage, 407-250-9144, or webringyouhome.com. Again, 407-250-9144, or webringyouhome.com. Don't go anywhere. Cleve and I will be back in 5 minutes, and we're going to talk about strategy and how can you get a better rate if you've already locked your rate. We'll be back in 5 minutes.